And every one of us has wished for something like the coronavirus to happen. Hey, it's Jay here from JMC, your relationship coach, simplifying those relationship issues. Now that was a pretty bold statement I made then, and I'm going to stand by it, and I'll explain why. Life gets busy, life gets hectic. And how many times have you heard yourself say to someone, I just don't have time for that. I am so flat out. I've got to get this done. I've got to get that done. If only I had more hours in the day. Now, everyone has the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days, or 366 leap year days every year, right? So with the coronavirus happening right now, it is shutting down businesses, it's sending kids home from school, it's sending parents and people home from work. It is, at the moment, a lot of major sporting events around the world. You've got the Formula One in Melbourne, you've got Major League Baseball, hockey, basketball and everything shutting down in America. You've got soccer and a few other sports shutting down in the UK. So all the times that people are racing off to go see sporting events or get their kids to sporting games on the weekend and everything else, or they don't have time, you now have it. It is now causing the world to just panic and shut things down at a rapid rate. I'm right next to a train station, and the amount of trains that are usually flying through here each and every day that are packed, and they're like half full at the moment as I'm watching one pull in right now. And it's got to a point where we are now being forced to have that time. You know, so many people will go, oh, I just don't have time for this. We'll make time. No, you just don't understand. You are now being made the time to do what you need to do. It's going to allow quality time. It is going to bring people together, families together, doing things they've never thought of doing before. Because right now, they're saying, don't mix with anyone, don't touch someone, don't touch things. They're not saying you can't go outside and go for a walk. They're not saying you can't go out and do some quality things in your own car, in your own time. You can still drive around. It's a lot easier. You're not going to catch it if you don't have it in the first place in your own car, if everyone in your car is who you know. And if you guys are all contained at home and you go in the car and no one else gets in and you don't interact with anyone else but yourselves, you should be safe. I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on that, but looking at the research and what's been going on at the moment, you should be okay. But now you have the time. What are you going to do with it? All these years you've been saying, I haven't had time for that. I wish I had time for this. I wish I had time for that. I wish I could just have, some time for myself to do this or time to do that, with work and family or kids and sporting events and whatever else. I don't have time. The government now is making things shut down, cancel at least for 2 to 4 weeks, maybe months. This is something you see in movies from, 50, 60, 70 years ago or 50 years time. Epidemics and pandemics and stuff shutting things down. You never thought it was going to happen. Well, it's happening now. So my question to you is, what are you going to do with this time? Think of all the times you've said, I wish I had time. If you've got those lists written down, I suggest you pull those lists out right now, because baby, you've got time and you're going to have time. Okay? It's like when you get sick. People go, oh, I can't have time work off, and they push themselves and they push themselves and they push themselves. And I've said to clients and I've said to work colleagues over the years and everything else, dude, you got to look after yourself, because if you don't, your body is going to take control and it's going to knock you on your ass and put you out of action. And that's when you end up being sick and you're off work for days or even weeks because you're sick. Well, this is it. The world is sick. The universe has probably said, you know what, I've had enough of you guys. You bring internet in, you bring computers and smartphones in to make the life so much easier. But what it does is it makes us more accessible. It makes us, work longer hours, be more stressed, be on call more, to do more, to be there more. Now, it's not. So if you've ever thought, if only I had time, you now need to sit down and think, this may be that time. This is the time where you may not be going into work, or you may not be able to go to your favourite sporting event because it's been cancelled or postponed. You may not be able to go out and see people like you normally do. So, when I say that we've been wishing for a coronavirus like this to happen, this is what I'm referring to. We've been wanting something to be able to give us that extra time. So, what are you going to do with that time? Have a think about it. Use it wisely. It may be for only a couple of days, a couple of weeks, but it looks like you may be getting that time that you've been wishing for after all. Don't waste it. If it's not running around doing all sorts of stuff, maybe reconnecting. Because this is a fantastic time for relationships if you really want to know. I'm going to go into that in another video. But this is all about reconnecting. It may be about getting on the phone and talking to friends and family you haven't spoken to a while. Maybe getting online and doing a video call for them and having a chat to them and get to see how they're okay, especially the elderly, because they're in dire straits right now. They're the ones we've got to watch, young kids and the elderly. So if you haven't spoken to your mum, nana, uncle, aunts, grandpas, dads, whatever, because you've been too busy, you might want to give them a call, because the way things are, who knows? They may be here today, they may not be tomorrow. I don't wish that on anyone, but right now, nobody knows what's going on. From hour upon hour, things are changing. Flights are getting cancelled, holidays are saying don't go to certain countries and stuff. You're being forced to stay at home. You are like a sickness knocking you on your ass, and you've got to now just rest. So while you're resting, while you've got the time, think about what you can do with this. I'm going to leave you with that. I'll talk to you again soon. See you guys. Bye. And stay clean, stay safe. Make sure you wash your hands. 20 seconds, I think they say. Good video by, I think it's Dr. Oz, interviewing a woman and showing her how to do it for 20 seconds. I'm not a big fan of him because of history, but it is a good video. Check it out. Take care. Stay clean and look after each other. Be kind. Stop fighting in supermarket shelves over toilet paper. It's ridiculous. Don't need to. See you soon. Bye.